All right, three, two, one, go. Jesse's here. We're back. Hello. Really quick video on the state of the league and the league start. So a lot of people on the subreddit have pointed out that the rework to rare monsters has, uh, made the game more difficult. And I agree. A lot of the times when people complain on Reddit about changes that GGG makes, I'm very I like to defend GGG, and at this time I have to admit I'm leaning towards agreeing with the majority on the subreddit as opposed to defending the game designer. So the rares were reworked to match up with the arch nemesis modifiers from last league. If you're not, familiar with what's going on, I'll just summarize. Basically, the rare modifiers were changed to be a little more specific and to have a little bit more interaction, where previously rare modifiers would just do something like give them more attack speed or give them energy shield or something like relatively simple relative to how complex the game is. Some of these modifiers really did almost nothing. I mean, it was very, very and easy to see how someone stacking these types of rare modifiers, could get tons and tons of life and damage. Another example of a modifier would be like physical damage as extra, cold damage or something. You get, or you can have a heavy crit multiplier, was another one, right? But those were all kind of individual rare modifiers that pale in comparison to the arch nemesis modifiers, because the arch nemesis modifiers tend to perform more of an action, like it'll throw up a bubble that you can't get your projectiles through, or it'll put an area, an AoE on the ground around the rare monster that drains your mana, right? That's like a mana siphoner, for example. There's some that regen, there are some that just have very fast attack and movement speed. But the point is that the game is a lot more difficult. A lot more difficult. Now I'm going to show you the deaths stat for this guy. This is a 4-link spark, by the way. So I'm not. This is a weak character, relatively speaking, right? I mean, I'm getting into yellow maps, but look at this. I just typed this in. 153 deaths. Now, I'm not against dying when it's appropriate. I'm playing softcore trades, so when I play the story, absolutely I'll feed a bunch of kills to the act bosses if it speeds up progression. I'm not worried. But now that I'm in maps, I tend to think of myself as like a more defensive player. I almost never use like a cast on death portal setup. I usually go for builds that don't die a lot. Now this build is supposed to be tanky. It was advertised as being relatively tanky. It's a Spark Inquisitor. And there are a lot of things about it that suggest that it would be tanky. Things like shield, things like more than 75 resist, things like relatively heavy HP pool. It's not staggering, but it's not terrible. Yeah, but but I'm getting crushed by the new rare modifiers. I mean, really, really, really crushed. I am dying in white maps to things that, I mean, never in a million years would I have died to in a previous league with previous rare monster balance. I'm in level 70 something, right? Level 75 here. I just did a tier 4 toxic sewer, right? And I got effectively one shot by a rare monster. And that's insane. I mean, that's insane. That means that the monster had to have got through, 5k EHP and done enough damage. I get stun locked a lot. I never used to get stun locked that much, even when I played self-cast like this. Like, I'm not playing a fragile build, and I feel really fragile in every map, against every rare pack, against every magic monster pack. The game is just a lot harder this league. And so with all that, the reason I even say that, the reason I make a video about it, is because I think for like the first time in a long time, I agree with the people on the subreddit that are complaining about the game. I hate when players in a free-to-play game complain and bitch and moan. It irritates the shit out of me. 99% of the time, I see things on the subreddit, and I roll my eyes and say, get a life. But today is not that day. Today, I'm like, hell yeah, POE community. Let's get this shit changed because it is unplayable right now. And, you know, for a solo player like myself, feels like I'm not going to be able to do any of the fun stuff that I wanted to do this league thus far. I mean, I guess I'm just gonna be doing white maps for, I don't know, another 4 or 5 days or something. Like, it's seriously insane. So, that's it. You know, y'all have a good one. Yep.